Sales are made on the sales floor, but the sale after the sale is made through the dealer's service department. Yes, it's in the service department that satisfied owners are made. Just look at that. Order, efficiency, the best equipment in the hands of men who know how. But there's a fly in the ointment.
Round her neck, she wore a yellow ribbon. She wore it in the summer and she wore it in the fall.
Hey, Joe.
Huh?
Look out or you'll get a shock.
Rest easy, chum. I know what I'm doing. Ain't that revolting?
Yeah, shocking. Why don't you clean up that litter?
Litter? This ain't nothing. You should have seen this joint before the boss fixed her up. There was no place to put things, and we had no fancy testing equipment. But we got the work out.
I'll bet you got it out of order. You know, a job like that ought to take about 15 minutes. How long did it take? 2 or 3 hours?
Well,
The shop is in a lot better shape now, huh?
I'll say. But the boss is nuts. Makes us take every new receiver out of the shipping carton and run it through a lot of tests. If the factory says it's okay, that's good enough for me.
But things can happen in shipment, Joe. Now, suppose there's a loose or damaged tube when the set is installed.
That could be annoying. Make some extra work for us guys.
Sure. And it would be more than annoying to the customer. If a new set won't operate, he blames the manufacturer or thinks the dealer has pulled a fast one.
Yeah, that's why the boss wanted all this test equipment.
That's only part of it. Every piece of equipment on that bench more than pays its way through providing fast, accurate testing. The oscilloscope is very important in the troubleshooting of synchronizing and deflection circuits in the receiver. The sweep and signal generator are invaluable for checking the alignment. The operator can see the exact frequency at which the alignment adjustment is being made. That vacuum tube voltmeter is mighty useful in troubleshooting, too. And that tube tester instantly detects weak, borderline tubes. And look at that shelf of service manuals. That material is as important as the test instruments. Everything you need and right where you can reach it. Who could ask for anything more?
I could, chum. See this here console? Man named Goldberry bought it. Salesman promised it to him 2 weeks ago, and the customer's been screaming his head off for it ever since. Man buys himself a set, and does he get it? Nah.
Say, Joe, look at that delivery label.
Yeah, I know. Now, if I was running this joint, things would be different. Deliveries would be made on time.
But, Joe, that delivery label says the Galbraith set must be delivered this afternoon.
So it does.
And there's nobody here to send but you.
Of course there isn't. Who, me? I never installed a set.
Aren't you up to it?
Of course I am. But Steve always does that. Wise guy, taking a night course in electronics. Ah, heck. There's nothing to installing. Easy as shooting fish in a barrel. Let's go.
Aren't you going to need a helper?
Are you kidding? Listen, I'm a strong guy. Nothing to it. Hey, you half pint. Want to go along for the ride?
Make sure the set will ride securely, Joe. And, Joe, you'd better fasten that ladder or you'll lose it.
Half pint, the ladder.
Now, are you sure you've got everything you're going to need?
Sure.
But wait a minute.
What's the matter now?
You aren't going into a customer's home like that. Unshaven, mussed up, dirty.
Say, what is this I'm going to? A dance?
Okay, big boy, but you'll be sorry. The delivery tag says to deliver the set at 1 o'clock, Joe, not before. And here it is, only 12:30.
So what? They've been waiting 2 weeks, haven't they?
I wouldn't do that, Joe.
Hey, you're getting aggravating. You do more backseat driving than my mother-in-law.
All right, Joe. I won't say another word. Do it your way and see what happens.
I will. Got everything half pint?
Oh, Johnny, put down that comic book and eat your lunch. You'll be late for school. Dear, Betty, go see who's at the door. Oh, Johnny, please. Oh! Oh! Mommy, it's a burglar! Oh, Lord, I've had everything but that. Now go eat your lunch. What do you want?
Mrs. Goldstone?
The name is Gallberry.
Well, I've got your TV set.
Oh, at last. Oh, but I'm just in the middle of getting the children back to school. Can't you wait about 15 minutes?
Oh, don't mind us, ma'am. You won't bother us at all.
Oh, dear. Television! Hooray! Oh, Daddy, Johnny, go eat your lunch.
Oh, lady, kids will be kids. They ain't bothering me at all.
Now eat your lunch.
Set 'em up in the other alley.
Oh!
You unpack half fine. I'm taking a breather. Nice place you got here, lady. Real home-like. Nothing to this job. Easy as shooting fish in a barrel.
Hold on, Joe.
Huh?
This has gone far enough.
Why, I'm just starting.
You're just about finished with Mrs. Gallberry.
There's something wrong? Why, the lady ain't said a word.
That's because she's speechless. Would you like to hear what she's thinking?
Here we've been waiting day after day for our set. And then they send this two-headed clown, tracking mud, breaking things, knocking things over, ruining my rug. I'll never order anything from that store again. Why, the big...
What do you think of that, Joe?
Oh, what she said.
And she's got good reason, Joe. Step over to that mirror.
What mirror?
Why, the one up there. Now take a good look at yourself, Joe. Pretty sharp, huh?
I run out of blades this morning.
So let's wipe off those whiskers now.
Boy, am I gorgeous.
Okay. Now let's put on some clean clothes while we're at it.
Half pint, too?
Of course.
Half pint. Come here. Look at yourself in the mirror. We're both gorgeous.
Now, that's the way installation men should look. Appearance is the first thing a customer notices, and courtesy is the second.
Maybe you got something there. See, I got an idea. Couldn't we make this delivery all over again? I don't like to have this lady so mad at me.
Why not? We can do anything in a movie. Now hold everything. Let's unpack that carton right here.
Outside?
Sure. Why mess up the customer's living room?
But supposing it rains?
Then you'd use the back porch or the garage.
But supposing there ain't no garage?
You'd unpack it in the truck. But inside the house? Never.
Well, let's open it up.
And this time, we're right on the nose at 1 o'clock. The kids are back in school, and Mrs. G is glad to see me. Sure, she had to wait too long to get her set, but already you're taking the edge off her annoyance by a good appearance and a courteous approach.
There she is, lady.
Oh, it's beautiful.
See the difference? Being careful of the customer's home and belongings makes her feel she's dealing with people who know their business. Courteous people. Now let's see where she wants it.
Lady, I'll be glad to put the set anywhere you say.
Well, let me see. Will you try it over there in front of the window?
Certainly, lady.
Hey, Joe,
Now what?
that's no place for a TV set.
I was just trying to please the customer.
She certainly won't be pleased. The sunlight will strike her right in the face during the afternoon program. And the receiver will be hot enough with all those tubes without a radiator behind the instrument to help along. And excessive heat isn't good for the cabinet either.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, Mrs. Goldberry, but the light shouldn't shine in your eyes or fall directly on the screen. Then you always got to remember the proper viewing distance, too. About here's where you should be to see properly. Yeah, but that ain't so good either.
Well, why don't we put it over where the radio is?
Yeah, that's better. Come on, Half Pint. Let's move the radio out of the way.
Oh, just a minute, and I'll take the things off.
Nice going, Joe. Always help the customer to pick the best location. And be sure to let me know when you're ready to install the antenna.
Oh, that's duck soup, chum. Easy as shooting fish in a barrel. Now you run along home.
Joe, that's a flower bed. Mrs. Goldberry is going to love you. Hey, Joe, watch those telephone wires. If you ever touch high power lines with that antenna, it'll be just too bad. Keep an eye on that human clam behind you. He should be holding the ladder.
Half pint! Hold that thing. Want me to break my neck? Well, she's up and a job well done, as I always say.
Hey, Joe,
You again?
do you think that's really going to hold?
What's the matter?
Well, plenty of things. Do you know how that antenna is going to look after the first good storm? Timber!
All right, wise guy. How would you put up one of these things?
Well, various ways. None of them like that. If it had been a short mast, you could have fastened it to the chimney or a wall. But a tall mast requires securely anchored guy wires with plenty of spread and with turnbuckles to keep the proper tension. Now, Joe, if you'll reach back in your pocket, you'll find something else you'll need.
A soldering iron. Well, I'll be... Where's the juice?
You don't need any. Just pull out that plunger and let go. That's right. You've just fired a thermite bullet.
I must have missed, I hope.
In a few seconds, it'll be as hot as if you'd used a blowtorch. Each thermite capsule will heat the iron for 10 minutes. When there's no electricity, it's mighty handy for soldering lead-in connections.
I can use this gimmick.
That looks more like it. Maybe Joe and his talkative helper are on the beam at last. But where's Joe? Oh, no! What are you doing, Joe?
What do you think I'm doing? I'm boring a hole for the lead-in wire.
With that bit?
It's a little big, but it's the only bit I got with me.
Look, I told you to check what you had on the truck. Here, try this on for size.
Thanks, chum.
Uh-uh. Still wrong, Joe. Mrs. Galbury will murder you if you disfigure her room. Now, if you absolutely have to run it through the floor or wall, at least get permission and try to angle it through the baseboard so it won't show. But there are other ways of bringing in the wire. And here's one of the best. This way, you don't have to bore any holes at all, and everybody's happy.
No holes at all?
No holes at all.
Oh, shucks.
Oh, Joe.
Listen, don't tell me I didn't bring enough lead-in wire. I brought plenty.
You can say that again. But make sure you don't leave the excess wire coiled up behind the set.
Oh, no. I was going to cut it off later.
Oh, and those tools, Joe.
What's the matter? I brought plenty of tools.
So I see. But why take everything out of the toolbox and spread them all over the rug? Why not put just the things you need on a drop floor?
Okay, but don't bother me with details. We got to get the antenna faced the right way. Hey, half pint. Swing it to the left. To the left, half pint. You hear me? Move it to the left. Hold it. Back a little. Too much. Left a little. Right a little. Left a little. Right a little. Left. Right. Oh, what a business. I should have been a sports announcer.
Oh, this is simple compared to some installations. Stop, Joe. Those policemen mean you. There's a lot of information in there about this particular set that you and every serviceman need to know. Hold on to it. And be sure to give that envelope to the owner. Tell him to read it thoroughly. Now take a look inside your envelope.
Oh, I know my way around the TV chassis.
But do you know your way around this particular model? Well, then you'll need the instruction sheet and the detailed diagram.
Yeah, this is something I can use.
And don't overlook that installation checklist. Never leave it with the customer. Fill it out completely and mail it to Capehart. It's already addressed and stamped.
Okay. Since I don't have to buy the stamp.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, you're home early. Look.
Oh, they finally delivered the television set. Well, can you get a program?
There'll be something on pretty soon.
Say, how long do those picture tubes last?
Oh, it's apt to pop anytime.
You know, my sister gets some strange effects on her set. Ghosts, I think she calls them.
That's right. Everybody gets them. You get them from buildings. You even get them from aeroplanes. Nobody can figure what to do with them.
Yeah. Some friends of ours over in Cloverdale have been having a lot of trouble with their set. Some of the stations are very weak. Some are good one night, bad another.
Yeah, television still has a long way to go. You got all kinds of problems.
Hey, Joe. That's no way to answer questions. Got any idea how that hits a new owner? Listen,
I was afraid of that. Just a lot of headaches and expenses.
Oh, why did we buy it?
what do you think of that, Joe?
That ain't good.
Certainly isn't, Joe. You've got to be just as careful in answering questions as if the owner were still a prospect.
What am I supposed to be? A salesman?
Exactly. A good installation man is a sales engineer. He's the man who makes the sale after the sale.
Hello? Who? Joe? Who's Joe?
Hey, that's me. Eddie? What do you mean am I going to be here all day? It's time to do one of these jobs right. Huh? So we got to fix Martin's set today or he'll blow his top? Well, tell him the parts haven't arrived from the factory. Sure, I know they came last week, but blame it on the factory. Yeah. Goodbye.
Joe, the Galburys heard every word of that.
Yeah? So what? I wasn't talking about them. They're my friends.
They could have been, but now they don't know what to think of their set or you or the dealer. Do you know what the salesman told them? Listen.
If you'll check with owners, you'll find that we have a reputation for dependability and fair dealing.
He's just a salesman.
So are you, my friend. And never forget it. Now, let's pretend that phone call never happened. And then go back and answer those questions the way they should have been answered.
You know, my sister gets some strange effects on her set. Ghosts, I think she calls them.
Yeah, that's due to reflections off a steel building or a big hill, sometimes trees. But I don't believe you'll have any of that, or we would have found it when we were orienting your antenna.
Some friends of ours in Cloverdale are having a lot of trouble with what they call snow.
Oh, that's because Cloverdale is in a very weak signal area. Maybe they need a booster, or maybe an antenna rotator would help. But you won't have any of that trouble here.
Say, will this set burn much electricity?
Well, there are more tubes than in your radio, but you'll hardly notice a difference in your electric bill.
Is it better to turn off all the lights?
No, lady. Not unless you want to play post office. TV is better with subdued light. Light that doesn't shine in your eyes or fall upon the screen.
You know, sometimes people look short and fat like in a Coney Island mirror.
Well, some of them really are that way. But usually when they look that way, the installer has done a bad job of adjusting the controls. But with me on the job, everything will be perfect.
I'm glad to hear you say that. By the way, how long do these picture tubes last?
Well, you got me there.
Joe, remind him that he's protected.
Mister, you don't have to worry about anything. Remember what the salesman told you?
A television set does need maintenance from time to time, but you're fully protected against any trouble and expense by the manufacturer's parts warranty and our own service contract. We take care of anything that needs attention. All you have to do is call us up.
So you see, you people ain't got nothing to worry about. That's our job. It's your job to have fun out of the set.
Oh, and I'm sure we will.
Nice going, Joe. That's making the sale after the sale. Now show him the owner's envelope.
Look what we got here. A prize package for the owner. This booklet tells you all you need to know about the set. It's important and mighty handy to have around. Then you fill out this card so you're on the registered owner's list with the factory. You can get the serial number from the back of the set. I'll get it for you and fill it out myself.
Oh, thank you.
How am I doing, chum?
Swell, Joe. Didn't know you had it in you.
Nothing to it. Watch me. Here's our address and phone number. Just call us any time you want something checked. Any time at all. Day or night.
Hey, wait a minute. That's going too far. Don't invite him to be a nuisance. Remember what you said at the shop the other day?
Yeah, it's that guy Martin said again. In and out of the shop all the time.
Every time the picture jumps, he wants we should overhaul the set. He's like one of them guys that thinks he's always sick. Hypodermic, sir, doctors call him. What a headache.
See what I mean, Joe? Tell them about interference and save yourself a lot of trouble.
Brother, do I like to save myself trouble.
There's something wrong with that test pattern.
Just a little interference.
From what?
I think I got an idea. Hey, half pint. Cut that engine. Is it any better?
Yeah, it's fine now.
It was a truck. Just electrical interference. You'll get it now and then when somebody turns the switch on. It's like static on your radio. Nothing to worry about.
Oh. But what made the picture so bad?
Gremlins, lady. We'll be getting a real program shortly. I better straighten up around here.
That's right. Leave everything as spick and span as it was when we came in. And shine up the glass and the cabinet. It's all a part of being a good installation man. All a part of showing the customer that he's dealing with good people. All a part of a sale after the sale. And don't forget, Joe, make sure that the Goldberries know how to operate their set.
Now let me show you how to operate this set. It's easy when you know how.
It's here. Gee, it's keen. I want to see cowboys. Yeah, cowboys.
Okay, kids, step right up, sit right down. The program's about to begin. Ready? Set. Look. Look at that now. There's a happy family for you. And you know why? Because they not only got a good set, they got a good installation job. Remember that, you fellas out there in the audience. That's why your job is so important. The manufacturer is doing his part by making a wonderful instrument. The salesman is doing his part by getting the order. So it's up to you men to complete the job by creating a satisfied customer every time you install a set. Just figure you're as much a salesman as the man who sold the set in the first place, and you'll be the most important link in the whole chain. That, fellas, is what we call making the sale after the sale.